watch down, crowd leaving. It's funny cause it's true. Let's begin.
She walk on stage with a mic and a smile. Got truth in a pocket, been waiting a while. Life been wild, but she still gon' shine. Say what you scared to say. Perfect timing. Bills, kids up, stress and pride. She gon' flip that plane and make a punchline fire. If you ever cry, then laugh right after. You already know this here matter. From the front row to the nosebleed seats, everybody here just trying to breathe. So loosen up, let your shoulders drop. But she'll get tall, you know it don't stop.
Laughing loud, laughing free. This ain't just jokes, it's therapy. Truth hit hard, but it feels so right. The Shelia new comedy show tonight. Laughing loud, clap your hands. She say what everybody think, but won't say damn. For real life, let's the comedy gold. It's the Shelia new comedy show.
Talk relationships, work and church. Why we smile in public, but hurt when it hurts. Ain't afraid of the mirror, ain't scared of the truth. She gon' make you laugh and say that's you. Side-eye jokes, wisdom in disguise. Funny how healing come with a punchline. You came for jokes, but you're leaving whole. That's grown folk comedy, heart and soul. If you had a week that wore you down, if life been joking you all around, take a breath, let the stress all go. You safe right here at the show. Laugh it loud, laugh it free. This ain't just jokes, it's therapy. Truth hits hard, but it feels so right. To see a new comedy show tonight. Laugh it loud, clap your hands. We say what everybody think, but won't say damn. From real life, best of comedy gold. It's to see a new comedy show. She's funny, but she real. She joking, but she heal. If you've been holding it in too long, that's your moment. Sing along. Laugh it loud, laugh it free. Come as you are, just be you. We need from the first joke to the final bow. The Shelia new comedy show right now. Laugh it loud one more time. Life too heavy not to laugh sometimes. From the pain into something bold. The Shelia new comedy show. If you felt it, that's on purpose. Welcome to the Shelia new comedy show.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And as the show says, if you laugh, then you felt it. And that's what we hope that you do. So happy June 28th, 2026. And we are so excited. I'm so excited. We are actually kicking off season 7 of the Shelia New Comedy Show. So give it up for ourselves, honey. We've been here doing the daggone thing for the last few years. And I am so excited. And today's episode is so befitting. Life Chronicles. We can't make this up. Baby, life give us the stories and we bring the laughs. So again, welcome to the Shelia New Comedy Show. I am your host, Shelia New, alongside my partner in crime, my super producer friend, the creator of Laurel Hero Productions, among some other things, honey, the talented Wanda Rose. So hey, Wanda, happy Sunday.
Hi. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday wherever they are today.
I know that's what I seen that somebody said they are abroad, and I'm a little jelly, but I'm
That's
glad.
awesome.
Yes, indeed. And I'm so glad to see you and thank you for popping in. We missed you, missed you, missed you. And honey, you probably need to go back a few episodes and catch up because we getting ready to kick this thing off. So I'm happy once again to say that we are in season 7 of the Shelia New Comedy Show. And this is our first episode. And before I get started, let me just say this shout out to the month of June and shout out to the men who have taken the time out this month for themselves because as we all know and are aware of, and if you are listening abroad somewhere else and you're not from America, because I don't know how things go across here, there, and everywhere, that this is Men's Mental Health Month. June is Men's Mental Health Month. So I want your brothers, your sisters, well, not your sisters, but your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, and maybe your sisters too, depending on how you get down. Just check in and tap in to yourself. Make sure that you are taking care of your mental health, your emotional health, because that is uberly important. Okay. So now we got that out the way, but I hope you had a great Sunday. I know it's hot here, honey. It's been hot. So I don't know about you ladies that listen in, but I hope you got your protective style of choice in for this summer heat because we getting ready to get it popping in this state of mind that's shaped like a mitten. Okay. So it's getting hot for real. And I hope that you are definitely staying safe. And I hope that you popped in to get your laugh on because we got a lot to unpack on this good last Sunday of June before you know we pop into all this other stuff. So Wanda, what you got, hand?
There's a lot going on. Thanks for mentioning that it's Men's Mental Health Month. It's important because sometimes the strongest people, and we think of men as being strong, they carry the heaviest burden, and a lot of times we overlook that. Men have feelings too, and real strength. But we know it also requires support. So have an honest conversation with the man in your life and make sure they're okay, and make sure they know that you're listening. And, whether you're a husband or a father or a son or just a friend, ask somebody how they're doing. That's important.
I believe that is true 110%. As we often say, it's not just, the people who look like they have it all together, and they may, to a certain degree, but they do, check in. It doesn't hurt to ask, hey, how you doing? And then, leave space for them to really respond, to you. Just don't you know, brush it over and be like, "Oh yeah, okay, they doing good." They don't have no issues, whatever, whatever, because you just don't know. You don't know what a person is dealing with on a regular basis. So definitely check in. It's nothing to make light of, because we downplay. Like Wanda said, a man is supposed to be strong. We were raised like that. We've heard that they ain't supposed to cry, this, that, and the third, all the things, right? But it's healthy, honestly, to let all of that stuff out. Let that mess go. Don't harbor it, make you sick on the inside. So, don't do that. And I think it's hella sexy for a man to be vulnerable and allow his self to, say what he needs to say and and you give him or that space no matter if it's your brother or whoever the case may be, it's all of those things are important. Okay, we got some things going on.
So before we go any further, I really want to hear a word from Sheila New.
Okay, so let me before I say anything else because I just got it in my spirit, okay? Okay, Candace, I hear you. Anything that we discuss, okay, on this platform, on this podcast, however, whenever you listen to it, just know that this is for entertainment purposes only. So take what we say with a grain of salt. Even if it sound like it tingle a little bit and it has some ring of truth to it, that's your business and mind it accordingly, okay? So make sure you do that, but this is for entertainment purposes only. And thank you, Candace, for reminding me to always say that. So I wanted to leave with that first. Now, a word from me as we open season 7, episode 1. Listen, we have been going through a lot these last few months. Well, last really 6 months. This is already halfway in the year already. And I know my year started off rocky. I know, Wanda had some things. We had some things going on. We lost one of our favorite co-hosts, Candace Murphy Sizak, back in March. And, her spirit is still being felt and her voice will forever be heard if you go back and listen to previous episodes. But I just want to say this on this good last Sunday in June. Take some time for yourself, not just because it's Men's Mental Health Month or May was Mental Health Awareness Month for whomever, we decide and designate that it's for. take time for yourself. Make sure you laugh. Release that stress. Okay. Don't bottle that stuff in. Make sure you take some time out to laugh, release, get all those things, angst off of you because it's important, right? You got your job, you got your kids, if you're going to school, you have that, whatever it is you have going on, whether you're taking care of your parents, shout out to the caregivers. It's a young lady that has been in television for a long time. She is the caregiver for her mother, and she posted a very sad post on Instagram the other day. A shout out for Brandy to being that open and vulnerable, but she's been taking care of her mom for a long time. And, we don't give the caregivers enough credit, and they need breaks. So she went to take a respite, and unfortunately, the young lady who she trained herself, I don't know if she didn't feel comfortable or whatever the case may have been, but her mother ended up falling. And because her mother failed, she cut her trip short, and she came back because the young lady didn't know enough to maybe call 911 or have somebody call in and check it. She found out that her mother ended up breaking her femur, right? So that just, catapulted into so many things. So now she has all these emotions, guilt, probably shame, listening to other people. Nobody knows your story better than you. Nobody can tell you what to do one way or the other. So please take that time out to do what you need to do for yourself. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Tap in with your strong friends. Even if you are considered to be the strong friend, reach out to people who you feel comfortable with. Make sure you are sharing what that burden. It's good to let it go. Cry sometimes, laugh, whatever you got to do. Yell, scream, stomp, go for a walk, work out at the gym. Me and Wanda are foodies. Go get you something real good to eat if that's what you want. If you sip on a little something, do that. If you smoke a little something, do that. Whatever, mind your business because you grown and you can do what you got to do, but just make sure that you are taking care of yourself. But we have so much. Like, I can't wait until we get to the entertainment section. But before I go on another further, for those of you all who are basketball fans, I mean the National Basketball Association fans, like y'all follow your favorite team, y'all know that we had an exciting run, and shout out to the New York Knicks. After 53 years, they won. They finally won the finals championship. So it's orange and blue skies everywhere. If you're from New York, New Jersey, in that tri-state, area up in that region. So definitely shout out to the 2026 New York Knicks for winning the NBA finals. And definitely I would be far removed and remiss if I didn't say shout out to the San Antonio Spurs. Y'all gave it one hell of a try. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all a young team. You got plenty of time. I've never, in the years that I have watched basketball, and it's been a lot of years, that I've seen young men in their early 20s play to the level that you all have played. So keep your head up, continue holding your head up, but definitely you got to give credit where credit is due. So definitely shout out once again to the New York Knicks for winning the NBA Finals, and they are the champions, and they hold that record until basketball season next year. And if y'all are, I don't know if you call it football or soccer, right? It depends on where you from. But the World Soccer Association, or FIFA, is going on right now. So shout out to all the teams from across the world that are playing for y'all's right to be the champions. So definitely shout out to y'all. So that's my thing on sports and shout outs, and that's my word for to get us started. So Wanda, what you got? What you want to unpack
Well,
first? Because I
well,
know it's a lot going
bef-
on.
before we get to entertainment, we got a couple more letters from our readers that came in.
I'm
And
hollering.
we cannot ignore our readers, our listeners. And so they've been sending in lots of emails. And so here's what we got. And this one says, Dear Sheila, why does it feel like the world changes every hour? It is stressing me out. What can I do?
It is changing every hour. So And I'm right there with you. But don't let the stress get to you. So Kendrick Lamar has a bar in one of his songs that came out that was real popular last year. Turn the TV off. Do that. Step away from social media if that's what's stressing you out. Because every time you do turn on, whether it's the television, you on social media, whatever the case may be, it's always something, right? Whether it's race related, whether it's politics related, economically related, whatever, it is. Sometimes you got to take a step back and turn stuff off and don't worry about none of that stuff that's going on. So turn the TV off, turn the radio down, get off social media, take some time out for yourself. Meditation is real good. I'm a big proponent of meditating, taking time out for myself. Journaling, I find helps a lot too. I work out, that helps reduce stress. So find the things that help you to reduce those stressful moments and then find a group of people that, share your views and opinions and some of your hobbies or develop a new hobby. Pick up something that you ain't done in a long time, like go bowling, go skating, whatever the case may be. It's warm outside. A lot of major cities, especially in the DMV area, they go outside and they skate and they have a good time. Go to a concert, go to a movie, go to the park, whatever, to a museum, get into art, paint, draw. It's so many different things that you can do to alleviate the stress. But the first thing is take that remote, turn the TV off, have some quiet time with yourself, but don't let the stress of the world become yours. Like we can't fix everything that goes on out here. That's not our job. Our job is to make sure that we are the best version of ourselves for us. It's just like they tell you on the airplane, right? If that mask fall down, you got to put that mask on first for you before you can help anybody else. Same principle. Help you before you can help anybody else. I hope that helps.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta be a little selfish and think about yourself. It's hard, but sometimes you gotta be selfish and take care of yourself.
110%.
And we had another question from a loyal listener, and this person says,
Come on, loyal listener.
"Why do I always think everybody else has it together?"
Social media will do that for you, right? It'll make people, because you only see the good stuff. Who really want to post like the transparent stuff, the vulnerable stuff? It's hard to do that because then you lay yourself bare for all the criticisms of the trolls that are going to come, right? Because that's going to happen. You got a lot of keyboard thugs. They said this is what they do. They make a living at it, I guess, or maybe they just they have that kind of time, right? That they just can comment on your stuff. So you can take that on, right? Don't take that on. Again, take a step back and look and evaluate you. What people will make you think a certain thing because they're only presenting the positives in their life, right? They only want you to see them, dressed up and, to the nines, hair done, nails done, everything did as the song says, or whatever the case may be, shaving, a haircut, whatever. Um, it's what they present. So, but you can't get caught up in that because not everybody has it together. And remember, it's not about perfection. I think we need to steer away from that. It's really about progression. Any, good fitness coach will tell you that, a life coach will tell you that. Anybody that's in, even your therapist may tell you that. Quit striving for something and don't compare. Like, stop comparing yourself to other people. I think we get bogged down with that. We're all made wonderfully different. We are beautifully and wonderfully made. So you got to make sure that you lean into that part of yourself. Don't worry about what everybody else is presenting because a lot of times they playing a charade and it's a facade. So you so you don't want to get caught up in the grand scheme of those things. And I hope that helps.
So you don't think social media, everything we see is not real?
Girl, bye. You know it ain't real.
It's not?
No.
But I thought everything I saw.
I know you lied. You know better than that. You know better.
Yeah, I think that's the mistake people make. They think it's real and it's not. And one day you see this happy couple and they look like they haven't living their best life, and next thing you know, they're getting a divorce because it's not real. They only show you the good stuff a lot of times on social media, and when the bad days happen, it doesn't get to social media. So
Right. 100%. I think because again, once you expose that part of your life, right, it will leave you open to all the comments, and then you get caught in or caught up in that, and then you're stressing over stuff you can't control. So we have to remember that everybody's gonna have an opinion, right? Somebody told me a long time ago, opinions are like you know what hoes, right? Everybody has one. So you gotta make sure that you remember that in the grand scheme of things. Don't get caught up in others' opinion of you, because then you become stuck. And for what? That doesn't make any sense one way or the other. You got to make sure you stay true to yourself. Pour in, fill your cup up first. Like Wanda said, it's okay to be selfish. Don't, use social media for what it's supposed to be for. It's for entertainment, just like this, for entertainment purposes only. Your body type and her body type, how he's built and how you're built, what they say they make compared to what you make. Quit doing that to yourself. That kind of stuff will drive you crazy, and nobody wants to be driven crazy. That just don't make no sense to me.
and you said something else that was really good. Uh, Comparison is a thief of joy.
Yes,
Yeah. I live in that, and I tell people that don't compare your life to somebody else, or you will never be happy.
please and thank you.
And they might not be living the life you think they're living.
And thank you and please.
So that's real important. I mean, there's a lot that we could talk about, and I hope these listeners are listening tonight, and this advice is really helping them because it's helping me.
I know that's right. It helps me too. We all need, as my daughter used to say when she was younger, we all need kind reminders, right? We need to make sure that we are reminding ourselves that we are who we say we are, that we love us first, right? You have to love you, take care of you, nurture you, take care of yourself. It's not selfish to do so because you extend so much energy trying to impress or take care of or, put on this front for people. That's exhausting. And why would you want to do that? If I want to get worn out, it's a few things that I can think of that don't have nothing to do with nobody else that I can exhaust myself in doing. And looking at and trying to figure out who's doing what and who shot John on social media ain't one of them. I'm sorry. That's not something that I'm going to subscribe to. I don't want it and I don't like it.
Thank you. Now, for this next segment, I want us to talk about, we always talk about entertainment and the news, world news, and there's always a lot going on in the world. So let's talk a little bit about entertainment. And I don't know if you've seen this new movie, this new Netflix series that's out. It's been, everybody's talking about it. Oh,
Mhm.
the Polygamist.
Guess Wanda, the listen, I never heard of it until you said something about it. So I did my due diligence because, I want to make sure that whatever we talk about for entertainment purposes or not, that I at least have a high level overview of what's going on. So I took the time out, started last night. Okay. Was up till about 3 this morning watching because it is definitely one of those series, or I don't know if it's gonna be a season 2. I hope so. So if y'all listening, the people who made the Polygamist, y'all need to don't leave that cliffhanger how y'all did. We need to see some more. So definitely shout out to those individuals. It was definitely it's must see TV. Okay, so definitely it was a good series to watch, and it had as many twists and turns and plot twists. And when you thought you had it figured out, baby, you didn't. Cause I was sitting up here scratching my head like I know you lying, cause I just knew I had figured out this was going into that, was going into this, and that's why my eyes burning now because I was staying up trying to figure it out. But it was really good. So thank you for recommending it. It is binge worthy. I will say that. So definitely,
I'm just
every
curious.
one of those episodes is or series that is binge worthy for sure.
I'm just curious when you watched it, who was your favorite character?
Joyce. Joyce was my favorite. Cause she was the one who was underestimated the most.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I watched it to the end, and that's how I know Joyce is one of those individuals who um she appeared like she had it all together. She took a lot of guff, from I don't want to give it away just in case people haven't watched it yet, but she took a lot of guff from a lot of people, mainly her husband. Even her children, her oldest daughter, well, yeah, her oldest daughter was questioning like her sanity at some point. Like, why are you putting yourself through this? But what I saw was somebody who really believed in matrimony, in her marriage, and she was willing to do whatever she needed to do. Now, I don't know what part of Africa this was shot in, so
South
excuse me.
Africa.
Okay, so that was South Africa? Okay. So anybody that goes that far to like go back to tradition where a man can have more than one wife said a lot about her character because she wasn't willing to give up on her marriage. She wasn't willing to throw in the towel. In some instances, I was yelling at the screen like, girl, get over it. You can find somebody like you can do much better. And I'm just going to say this tongue in cheek, honey, all the names they was calling him, he fit all of those. Whore kept coming up a lot and he was definitely that. So I didn't like Jonas at all.
I don't think anybody liked Jonas, but I always said that he gave her out. I wish she could have walked away when he wanted a divorce and she didn't want the divorce. I thought. I mean, I think the
But that was business. That was for business too, because it would have hurt their brand that they built
yeah.
together. That J&J, because of the people who they were attracting were very family oriented. So he had to play the game as well, right? And I think that the young lady, I can't remember her name, the first mistress that worked, huh?
The one from work.
Yes, her.
Yeah.
She came in knowing that he was married, but she threw herself. Number one, I think you kind of trifle. Well, not kind of. Let me say how I feel it. You trifling as hell if you messing with somebody's brother. You dumped a brother to get at the other brother because you feel like you dating up, right? But you already knew he was married. You knew his situation. You knew he had family. You knew all of these things, but yet you still open your legs and you expected that you were gonna use your thing to get him and lure him. And all it did was brought you a world of hurt. And he ended up showing you his true colors too. But he was very manipulative throughout the whole thing with his wife. One, I didn't even know that him and Essie was married for real until I really until I really paid attention. I'm like, so Essie was wife number two, so that made her wife number
Yeah.
three.
Yeah, Essie's wife number 2.
Yeah, because when he went away to school, that's when he met Joyce and he married Joyce, but he married up when he married Joyce because Joyce family had influence and had money.
But Essie was the one that helped him out. That helped
She
him out.
did. She cooked, she nourished, she nurtured him. She did all the things, but at the same time, she was being played. And this is a crazy thing that I've never seen like play out on film, but it is probably true more often than not. How can you walk in the store with one pregnant woman, you got a other pregnant wife at home, but you try to introduce her as your sister-in-law and you go along to get along? Where they do that at? Like,
She would. I guess in that moment she didn't know what to say because she
I'm
always
just
thought.
saying, you start
Yeah,
cussing and throwing stuff in the
that's it.
store. You had access to a whole bunch of stuff that you could have threw around. Quit playing.
But I think she was probably shocked because she always thought that Joyce knew about her. She didn't know until that moment that he had never told her about
And
her.
but he presented her as his like this is my sister-in-law.
You know,
And that's the crazy thing. She's standing up there looking like, I know you lying, but you hearing it though. And it's just like, and that happened in every instance, right? Like he would never, to me, you a coward if you can't tell the truth. If you hiding behind all of this fallacy and you got to keep lying, you got to continue to remember the lies you told in order to keep up with it. That mess is crazy.
and I think that's why Joyce had a hard time forgiving Essie more than anybody else because
Yeah,
she
because
lied
she
for
felt like
20
she was
years.
her sister. Yeah.
She lied for 20 years in her face, but she could at any point said, "Hey, we're married." And she acted like that was her sister-in-law, and so they were around her. Or they had been around her for the last 20 years, thinking that that was her sister-in-law, and not her husband's other wife.
Right, exactly. And then it threw me too because I didn't put two and two together at first that their daughter Sarah, Essie, and Joe's daughter together. I mean, but see, it says a lot. It's so much to unpack in this, right? And we won't do it all here because we really want y'all to go and watch it. But
So we
basically,
could do that.
okay, well, okay, so I'll say this. Parents have to be mindful. The stuff that you do, you screw up your children. Period. That little girl from Essie, she was all messed up because in her mind, she had to use her body, her mouth, or whatever to feel like she gets some kind of gratification. His son with Joyce, he belittled and made him feel less than. He talked down to him, so that made him have issues. Then so he started leaning to drinking. So you got to think about all this other stuff. His daughter with Joyce, the older one, she has trust issues. So it's so many things that, the children get drawn into your mess because you think they're not paying attention. Kids pay attention. They may not always listen to what you say, but how you move, they are keying in to all of that. So you can say all you want to say. Don't do as I do as I say. They throwing that out the window. They is watching how you move.
They hurt the kids in this show. You see
Yes.
how the kids are gonna suffer
Yes.
for what they did to them and how they lived their life.
110%. Yes.
So I think in the end, I think Sarah kind of came to I think Sarah may be all right. I think the oldest may be able to. I think the son is going to be the issue on the next going into the future. He's getting
Yes.
bonus number two.
Yeah, yeah, because he hit the little young chick in the at the funeral. Now you know that's trifling.
That was very trifling.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
trifling. That's beyond trifling. How you doing that? That's his daddy. That was somebody who you was sleeping with. And the crazy thing is because he ended up dying of HIV, that girl got it. So now his son gonna get it too. Come on now. That's why I said whoever wrote it, we need a season two because I need to see what's
You
going
know
on.
that girl, he always liked that girl. So that was hurtful to him that his dad started dating the girl because that was his like he had a big crush on. He was a
Yes,
little girl.
yes, yes, yes.
He told
And then Sarah was his sister Sarah's was trifling too though. She was trifling because she went after her sister's boyfriend because she was like, I can show you better than I can tell you.
yeah, but Sarah, I think Sarah was just going through issues. I think Sarah's gonna be all right.
Girl, ain't no issues that deep that you in your sister's bedroom with her boyfriend and you giving fellatio.
She was acting out. She was acting out.
Yeah, I would have been acting out too. My fist would have been all up in her mouth and his too. Everybody could have got some. Okay, I'm just saying.
I felt sorry for Sarah because Sarah had to live in the shadows all these years.
Oh, for sure.
She had to live in
But that's because her mother accepted the shadows. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. That's crazy.
Now I think relationship between the second wife and Joyce was interesting because I think they actually liked each other.
Well, eventually they had to get there though, and she did because she had to trust her enough to leave her twin daughters with the first wife. Cause who does that? You know what I'm saying? You dropped off, and you ain't just drop them off and say, I'll be back in a week or two. Some years had gone past that they don't even recognize you as being their mother because this lady has been raising and cultivating the babies. where they were walking and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was just, it was different.
I like the fact that even when she came back, you could tell Joyce wasn't upset with her though. And
No, not at all.
I feel like they developed over the year like a
A
friendship.
sisterhood. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because they was definitely sister wives, honey.
And I
They
think
was definitely doing that.
they both felt sorry for each other what they were going through, and they could stick
Absolutely.
together. And if Essie had come out earlier, it would have been better. You know, Essie went far when she took the body. I thought that was a bit much when she went and took the body.
Baby, was she? I guess she said she was at the morgue washing the body. She had her own funeral. I said, "Pappy, listen, it was that. Look, y'all go check out The Polygamist. It is running right now. And matter of fact, it's trending right now on Netflix. Now, I will say this because Wanda listened to the all English version. I listened. I listened and watched and read because the subtitles were on the Zulu version, because it gives a different richness because of the language, but it's easy to follow. I was really surprised, but pleasantly surprised about that too. But it was definitely a must see. I will go back and watch it again, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure that if I watch it twice, I'll pick up something I didn't see the first time around.
Yeah, I picked up stuff the second time I watched it. So the third time I watched it, I probably watched it with the subtitles. But I definitely picked up stuff the second time that I watched it that I didn't pick up the first time.
Yeah, for sure.
We might have to do a special night just to talk about the polygamist. I think it's a great show with a lot of layers.
Yeah.
And
Very good writing, very good storytelling for sure.
talking about what a season two, if there's a season two, what does season two look like? Some people saying he's dead, some people saying he's not really dead. I don't know, he might not be
I
dead.
think no, he did, honey. That thing. I mean, you could look at him, his body, how his body was looking. I don't know if they do no embalming in Africa, cause that would be the only way. But he had HIV. I don't, not saying that you can't live with that.
Some people think it was a dream, and you feel that
Yeah.
I mean, some people think it was a dream.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a one hell of a dream if it was. They had to be smoking some good ganja, honey, cause baby.
He refused to take the medication because of
That was on him. Yeah, because he didn't want to
I
think that he could do that.
take it. I didn't understand why.
Because he thought he was invincible.
That's true. Yeah.
He thought he was Superman and he had the super thing and he was just giving it to everybody. If you had a skirt and a smile, you could get it. That's how he was rolling. He ain't care who it was, when it was, where it was. Even when Essie got outside to pee in the woods, he outside trying to give it to her after she done peed. So that let me know what type of man he was then. But see, this is a person that he been all his life. He was like that as a young man. That's why he came back from school with a wife already.
And that's what took him down in the end.
Of course. Yep.
That's how
Definitely.
yeah. But I was surprised because he wasn't abusive. He was well, just abusive in a different kind of sense, but he became abusive and he had never been.
Yeah.
I don't know what brought that on. I guess he was just so frustrated about. I don't know what that brought that.
Well, he didn't like to be questioned. Right.
They all were questioning.
Yes, he felt like he was the man and he should be able to do whatever, and they were supposed to go along and get along and not question anything. And when they did, it made him upset because I guess it made him feel like they questioning his manhood, his ability to make decision, because basically he was saying that he knew what was best for everybody. And as long as you were doing what he wanted you to do, you was good. But as soon as you start questioning, that's when he became violent. And the crazy part is the only person who didn't get the backhand of that was Essie.
That Essie might have beat him down though.
Mhm.
Essie always went along with it. She never really questioned him like the other two did.
That part.
She was still chasing him when they were she was still chasing him, trying to get his attention when the two of them were done with him.
Yeah.
Now, I
Yeah.
like the brother. Even though he went along with it, I like his brother a lot.
Yeah, I think his brother in the end, he showed up when it counted, right? He was able to go back and let the children know, hey, don't miss out on your legacy, help us get the company turned back around, make amends because basically, in essence, life is too short, right? You can't continue to hold these grudges because they'll eventually take you out. And once that person has transitioned, there's nothing you can do about it. Once a person is gone, if you have some unresolved issues, then those issues become yours and yours alone.
And I do get the impression they must have had a really bad childhood, he and his brother. And
For sure.
in that culture, they were saying that the oldest, well, I think he was the oldest. The brother was the oldest, and I think in that
Yeah.
culture, you protect your other brother, and then his brother was the one that helped him get out of poverty, and so he felt he always had to protect him. So, but I mean, shout out to his brother. I really like his brother a lot.
For sure.
I thought he was a stand-up guy, and they all the women realized they missed out when they look back that they should have gone for the brother and not Jonas.
For sure. For sure.
And he put his life on hold for 20 something years to live a lie.
Yeah, I mean, he never got married. He never had a family of his own. He was always the cleanup person, right? That's what he did.
But yeah, shout out to the Polygamist and who wrote it. Uh, can't wait to see what
For
comes
sure.
out next with that. And I think it's something, a lot more to talk about it. We got to see what happens. Maybe we do a special episode, a special night. We just talk about the Polygamist.
That sounds good to me because I like it.
And then we talk about, there's a lot going on in entertainment. I'm a big fan of Jelly Roll, the singer.
For sure.
And Jelly Roll and his wife, BunnieXO, announced that they were getting a divorce, and I think I called you, but I was disappointed. I was so disappointed.
Yes, you did call me, but you are so invested. I will say this. I mean, you love, and I love that about you. I mean, anybody, especially in the limelight. I mean, when Cardi B is going through her ebbs and flows, and you getting your feelings about well, about that too. This particular instance, you getting your feelings about it, and I mean, I think it's cute. It's endearing for sure. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? But from what it sounds like after you and I had spoke about it, excuse me, is that they seem to still be like very cool and cordial toward each other.
Yeah, very. They seem to be very close. They still plan on having a baby together. So they seem it leads everybody to be like, okay, what's going on? Because I mean, like, well, why are you getting a divorce? But they seem very cool with each other, very happy for each other, and they plan on having a baby together. So I think they still might get back together.
Well, hope springs eternal, and you just don't ever know, because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they, take some counsel.
Something.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe they'll get some help, and maybe they just need like a small break, and to kind of figure some stuff out. And I think too, when you're in a relationship, especially if you're in the public eye often, you got to keep people out your business. Period. I mean, I think who leads a good example in that is Denzel Washington and his wife, Paulette. I think that's her name. I think that they have been married for a very, very long time. Denzel has been in the industry for a very, very, very long time. So I think that, you have to kind of see who your good examples that this can happen, right? That you can be, this A-lister entertainer or in entertainment, period, and still have a healthy, happy, and nurturing relationship. If you keep the press and other people out your business, tell them to mind theirs, mind the business that pays them, and tell them to stay out of yours, period.
You know, I I admire Jelly Roll and I admire his wife. They both came from nothing. She was a sex worker. He was a drug addict at one time. She helped
Mhm.
him accomplish a lot in his life. In her own right, she's become a multimillionaire. She has an excellent podcast and she has a best-selling book out, and they're making a movie of her life. So they both have done really well, and maybe their relationship ran its course. We'll see what happens.
Mhm.
I mean,
Stay tuned.
he would not be where he is without her, and she says that. And so a lot of people are saying that they hate when you see women do that. You build a man up, they get to be someplace in life, and then the relationship ends. So that's a little sad. But we have to see what happens in the future. But at least they're still friends, and they still plan on having a baby together. They say so. That's awesome.
For sure.
And then when you talk about news, we can't like not talk about world news. Are we still at war? Are we still at war?
I don't know what's going on. It's like a relationship, right? You're on again, off again. It's like a leaky faucet. What do you do with it? You know what I'm saying? You want to go and you want to raid, people. You want to take their stuff, and then you want to call a ceasefire. And if is it really a ceasefire? And then one day you may wake up and decided that that's not what you meant, or maybe you forgot that's what you said. I don't know. It's so much, right, in politics. And I think that's where I kind of check out, if you will, because it's just too much going on. And that can be overwhelming at times, especially when you have your own stuff that you're dealing with and you don't know if this particular individual is on again, off again, what he wants to do, what he doesn't want to do. But let him tell it. This is the greatest America. He talk about stupid shit like the reflection pool at the Washington Monument. You want to paint 1776 in it. Baby, listen, all I'm saying is I cannot wait until 2028 when all of this is over. We are halfway there. Come on, 2 years. I am not the person who rushes time at all. It's a precious commodity. I'm just sitting in it and I'm getting through it the best way that I know how. But this is some of the most ludicrous stuff that I have ever seen and heard. And I know that people that live in other countries are sitting back talking about now what in the hell is going on? This used to be like a premier country. People, died crossing waters trying to get here to make a better life for themselves and their families. Now people are saying, wait a minute. I don't know if I really want to go to visit. I definitely don't know if I want to go to live there. And now you have people that are really checking out other countries to go to set up shop, right? Because it's so iffy. We don't know if we're going or coming. I think sometimes we just have to stay tuned and figure out what's happening. But you again, do what you need to do for yourself. And let me say one more time, this is for entertainment purposes only. My opinions, my views. If they resonate with you, fine. If they don't, that's cool too. We can always agree to disagree, but just understand it's my platform, our platform. We gonna say what we gotta say, but just please take the time for yourself. Don't get caught up in the shenanigans that is the politics of this country, especially when you are bullying people that we don't have no beef with one way or the other, but now we do. But I want to say this though, shout out to whoever do them little Lego things that they have going on. I love every single one of them. I think that's the dopest thing on the internet now because they tell the story about this political climate better than anybody I've seen so far.
Yeah, those are really cool. And also, I heard you going to the fair. They got the fair going on right now at the White House.
Listen, the crazy thing is that I guess some people they try to they try to line up for entertainment and everybody cancels. So you use the U.S. military to provide entertainment and some other people. Baby, listen, who the hell left the gate open? Because this the craziest stuff I ever seen. And
They have a baptism pool too.
listen, but wait a minute. Can you imagine 50 to 100 years from now when the next generation of whatever they're going to be called, Jim, whatever, when they go back into history and they going to ask, what was y'all thinking? So nobody had the wherewithal to say, okay, y'all need to stop this right now. Like, this don't make no sense. I wish I could be a fly on the wall some 50, 100 years from now when they going back and talk about the 21st century and politics and how it was just the craziest, most unorthodox thing that they've ever read. And for them to see videos, so not only will they have it in print, right? Where they can read it, but it's all kind of videos that are going to be available to them to see and watch. And how can you explain, stuff like that? Because you can't. So, definitely it's a lot to take in. It just lets you know that the mindset of people, somebody got to be able to say, okay, you know what, enough is enough. And I don't think the people who we voted for, be it local, state, and national, really understand that, but they better start paying attention, because I always say that don't just vote for the major elections. It starts really in your community. If you want to start making differences in policies and how and processes, you got to make sure that you are involved from the ground floor, and that starts in your own backyard. Make sure that the person who is representing you, actually, y'all have some things in alignment together. Y'all might not agree on 100% everything across the board, but they got to at least speak to the things that are important to you, so at least you can feel like your voice matters. Because right now, I think that's where a lot of Americans are lost, because we don't think that we're being heard, especially the vast majority of us. And again, that's just my 2 cents.
Absolutely. But on a positive note, shout out to the Obama Presidential Library open in Chicago.
Yes, come on, Shot Town.
Can't wait to go visit that. I know it was a sold out on the first day when they for grand
Of
opening.
course.
So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
awesome. It's beautiful. But on that note, we want to hear our ending of the show with a word from Sheila New.
Well, 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 thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us for this season 7, episode 1 kickoff. And baby, did we cover and we unpacked a lot? Because we can't make this up. It's like the world gives us all this stuff, and we make good use of it the best way we know how, right? And that's about being open and honest and having open dialogue about everything. But more importantly than anything else in the world, make sure that you are taking time out, please, 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 for yourself. It's getting ready to be the summertime. Stay safe, stay hydrated. When it's time to get you some shade, do that. Do everything that you need to do for you on a regular basis, because it's important. Take that time out, go for a walk, journal, meditate, pray. No matter what your faith walk looks like for you, make sure that you are taking time out for yourself. Again, social media is a real place, right? Because we all log in and we all like the stories and the shenanigans that go on. But don't get caught up in that. Make sure you stay focused on your goals, your dreams, and make sure that you're doing everything positive for yourself. Again, take that time out for you. And if it means sometimes that you got to disconnect and take a break from social media, please do that. It's nothing wrong with taking time out for yourself. Even if somebody whispers she being selfish or he being selfish, so what? They don't know what kind of cross you bearing. They don't know what kind of stuff you going through. If they getting on your nerves on your job, in your personal life, whatever the case may be, we all have stuff. So when people try to figure you out, pivot and do something totally different. But make sure that you're doing everything possible for you. Take care of yourself. Love you first before you start pouring and loving somebody else. And you know what? We appreciate every single one of y'all that show up month after month. We see y'all from all across the country, from places I ain't even never heard of. But big shout out to y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for laughing. And thank you for loving us. And until next time, we'll see you when we see you. Peace.